Well, welcome everybody to a very exciting episode of Beauty in the Breakup podcast. I have with me the creator and founder of the worldwide personal development system, Access Consciousness, Mr. Gary Douglas.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so grateful to have you on. This book wouldn't have been written if it weren't for you telling
I
me.
know I'm a mean person. I made you do it.
You did. And since then, I have contributed to some other books, some chapters in other books using the tools. And I'm actually in the process of writing my first romance novel.
Excellent. You
So,
need to do that.
yeah, you've inspired a lot of people, like millions of people. And you've inspired me quite a bit. And
Well,
especially with this topic of breaking up. When I met you 20 years ago, I think you had recently been through a divorce,
yes, I was getting a divorce.
and you spoke about it very differently in class. It was very different than anything I had ever heard.
Yeah.
You said that you still loved her
Yeah.
and that you
It's
just
like you
couldn't
don't
live.
you don't stop loving, but being in love is that pheromone system where you want to have sex all the time and all that kind of stuff. And that tends to go away, whether you like it or not.
Right. And so you were saying that even though you loved her, you couldn't live with her, and
Yeah.
that was
Well,
was that the choice? Like, what actually
Well,
made you?
what I looked at is okay, so what would have to change here for this relationship to work for me? Because I think we all get to the point where our relationships, I think personally, that relationships run a course. And it's like when they get to the end, you should be able to end, not, it's like, because I don't believe that humankind are like, like swans who mate forever with one swan, but that's a different story. But it's like the one thing I noticed is that my wife had certain points of view about me that I knew she couldn't change. So I went, okay. So I came up with 8 choices, 8 things would have to change for the relationship to work for me. And I went, can I ask her to do this? And I got, yes, I could, but would it work? And
Mm,
it's like, and I realized that those 8 things were the differences between us that we could not alter. And I realized that asking her to change those would be asking the leopard to change their spot. And if you love somebody, would you really ask them to change to be what you want? I wouldn't. I have met some people who did, and they've had a 50-year relationship because he changed everything she told him he had to change to be with her. And he was willing to do that.
wow. Yeah. I don't know many people who are willing to
Yeah.
change.
Most people aren't, you know. It's like it's very hard for most people to change because they've decided this is who they are. And one of the things we discovered is that we have these personalities that we've taken on in different lifetimes. And those personalities determine who you can be with and who you can't be with to a huge degree. So it's like you meet somebody and you see the gift in them, and then you start judging yourself or judging them, and then separation occurs. And it's just not, judgment is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. Don't judge. So it's
Right.
like the good thing for me is I looked at the 8 things that would have to change, and 6 of them would be like asking the leopard to change their spot. And I went, well, then this is not going to work. So I need to get out of here. And I realized at that moment, that's when I had to leave. And the funny part about it is after I got divorced, I looked at pictures of when we had been together, and there were some great happy times
Mhm.
that those pictures created. And it's like you can't not have some good times with somebody that you're with. And if you love somebody, you can forgive them to a certain degree, all kinds of things.
It's so true. Yeah. It's funny. My divorce was 14 years ago now,
Yeah.
and my daughter, who's now 27, has moved back in temporarily, and it's created a totally different relationship. And there's a lot of those fun funny and wonderful memories
Yeah,
coming through, and things that I can share with her about her father
yeah.
that maybe she wasn't aware of. And this is why this didn't work, and these are the fun things that we
But
did.
you have to add this didn't work for me. Not
Mhm.
this didn't work. This didn't work for me.
Right.
Probably worked for him, but not for me. I mean, I have a knife that your ex-husband gave me, and he hates me now. But it's like I have that knife, and every time I look at it, I have such fond memories of him. And I like the guy a whole lot better than he liked me, but it's fine.
Well, I don't think it had to do with you. I think it had to do with himself, you know.
Usually it does, because usually, see, it's like the one thing I always talk about in Access is projections and expectations. If you do projections and expectations of somebody else, when that doesn't work out the way you think it should, then you have to do separation, judgment, and rejection of you to make it all equal. And so that's what people do is when they have projections or expectations about what I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to do or how I'm supposed to be for them, and I don't fulfill that, they always have to go into separation, judgment, or rejection of themselves, which I think is very sad. I don't think that's the way life should be. I think there's a whole lot of possibilities in life that we don't take care of and don't enjoy and don't have.
Yes, well, it is possible to change it. And actually, the book, I have to say, targets certain areas where we're holding on to things like that. And it
Yeah.
gives tools on how to melt and change those points of view so that you're not stuck with it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a friend who just got married recently, and he and his wife does a lot of judgment and control, tries to control him. Now, this is the one person in life that I would never try to control because he's too autistic to be controlled.
Hmm.
And it's like, and she keeps trying to, and I keep going, don't do that. It's not going to work. It's going to destroy your relationship. And she doesn't see it's going to destroy because her mother lived under a similar thing with a man that's similar, and her mother hates her husband. Now, why do you want to create a relationship about hate instead
Hmm.
of love? I don't get it.
Hmm. So is she just following the energy of what she grew up around?
Yeah, she's following the energy of mom. This is what
Hmm.
mom did, so this is what I should do if I want my husband to turn out like my father. That's not the relationship you want to have, you know? I asked her, I made the mistake of asking, so did you have sex with your father? No, I would never do that. Oh, okay, sorry. Why did you ask me that? I said, because if it was good, then you'd know whether this husband will work or not. And if you didn't have sex with him, then you can't even know what it would really be like. I'm a
Love-
terrible, terrible person.
I love your turning everything on its head.
Yes.
And like one of the things that I was looking at when I was contemplating whether to stay together or get divorced is there's so much pressure to make the relationship work and
Yeah.
to go the course and to stay married. And it's wrong to get divorced, like you failed. But that brings up all of these reasons and
Well,
justifications to
so
make it right or
I
wrong.
have a question. Did
Mm.
you fail or did the relationship not work?
Oh, I think it was brilliant and it finished.
Yeah. It was great while you had it, and it was great, and you got two beautiful kids out of it. It's too bad they're so ugly. No, they're not. Either one of them are ugly. You know. And how's your son doing, by the way?
He's doing great. He's finishing up a graduate degree and just has gotten called in for a second interview at an aerospace technology
Perfect.
place. And
Good.
yeah, he's very thrilled, and I'm so
Good.
happy for him.
He was one of the best healers I ever worked with in my life. He was 10 years old and he used to do eye processes on me, and I would be better for like 3 weeks after he worked on me. And it's like I would love to find another kid like that
Yeah,
could really use it.
I've asked him, and
He
for now,
doesn't want this.
he's
Yeah.
like, I didn't do anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when he needs it, he'll get it, whatever it is. It'll be fine.
Yeah. They still use the magic when I guess
They
they
need it.
decide they need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, another point I wanted to bring up is that you mentioned in class how anger, rage, fury, and hate were the most toxic waste on the planet.
Yes.
And I noticed that with separation and divorce, people hold on to anger and hate for years. And I
Yeah.
really
And it
wanted to
destroys it.
change that.
Yeah. It destroys their life, which is the problem. It's like you don't realize that the anger, rage, fury, and hate, whenever you run that and are that, it's like it goes against your body. It hurts your body and it's bad for your body. And it's like being in that anger, rage, fury, and hate always creates a level of separation of you from your body that most people never get. And it's like your poor body doesn't deserve to be whacked. But if you're going to do that, you might as well get a can of nine tails and just flagellate yourself all the time because it'll feel as good.
And I think about like, I knew somebody who was lying in bed for an entire year after her divorce. Like she was depressed and angry, and not until she got her bars run did
Mm.
that change. She actually took a bars class with me and then foundation, and her whole life changed.
Oh,
But
that's sad.
I mean, an entire year in bed,
Yeah,
that's just mind-boggling.
I know. I mean, I've spent the last 4 years in bed a lot because of having the shingles, which
Mm.
just whacked the crap out of my shoulder. And it's like I feel like the nerve endings in my right shoulder are like on fire all the time, all the
Hmm.
time. And so I have had to learn how to do things, and I've created a whole lot of new body processes and stuff, which is awesome. And I'm very grateful for my body for giving me these and for giving me the information, and it's helping so many others as well. So, hey, apparently having them, even though it was a pain in the shoulder instead of the ass, thank God it wasn't a pain in the ass. I don't think I could have stood that, you know, but it's like the shoulder is like it has made me step up and shoulder the burden of changing realities, which is
Wow.
good.
Wow. Yeah, that's a very different choice than
Yeah.
staying in bed because you're
Yeah.
angry.
Well, it's like at 82, I'm still working 6 to 10 hours a day. Okay. I'm 82. Now, most people that age, my age, don't work. They don't do anything except sit around and sit around and sit around. And it's like, no, I need to work. I like it. And it's like Dane and I bought the house next door to us, which we're turning into our guest cottage. So we're going to have a $3 million guest cottage, a 7,000 square foot guest cottage. you know, and it's like, and everybody thinks we're nuts, and we are. We're just insane. But the ultimate thing is, it's like it has created so much peace in our world, and so many strange things have happened. Like Dane had some lithium batteries, which were in his bedroom, and he decided to move them, and he was going to move them over to that garage. So I had my two classic cars in there, my 77 El Camino and my 1960 Buick convertible. I had those two cars in there, and the kid that was moving them for us is a strong arm, and he went over and he put them down on the floor. And the moment he put them down on the floor, they started smoking, and then they
Oh my
burst into
God.
flame, and it burnt the garage. We had flames coming out of the garage 30 feet in the air. It
Wow.
destroyed my two cars. It melted them, basically. And as a result, we're having to redo the entire roof of the house. But because we have to do the entire roof of the house because of the fire, the insurance company is paying for it.
Wow.
So it's like, whoa, that worked to our benefit. How cool is that?
Wow. It's a good thing it wasn't in Dane's room because I would have torched your house.
Yeah, that would have torched our house and my room, which is so beautiful. I couldn't stand losing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
But don't trust lithium batteries, okay, guys? They're really not that good. Yes, they do a good job of electricity, but they don't do a good job of not going out when you put things on them. They don't go out, even if they don't have oxygen in a safe, they can burn because they create their own oxygen,
Wow.
which is like, what? It's fucking crazy.
Who knew?
Well, apparently the lithium battery people did because they paid a certain amount of money for to the insurance company for
Ooh,
those batteries.
wow. Okay. You hear that, everybody? Like, take note. But let's just back up a tiny bit.
Okay, sorry.
You lost your cars
Yes.
and you're smiling about it.
Yeah, because I looked at it and I went, oh well, and it's like, and my assistant had not upped their values. So it's like car that was worth $100,000, I only got 68 for. The car that was worth $25,000, I only got 24. It's like all she had to do was, put a little note in every month, every year.
Hmm.
This needs to be valued at this rate now. But she didn't do that because she doesn't have the mentality that that's something that happens, that things can go up in value like that. And I do. It's like about jewelry,
Mhm.
so that certain things go up in value. It's like I I bought from your sister, I bought a tanzanite that was really big,
Mhm.
65 carats, I think, and I had a ring made for it. I paid 65,000, I paid 14,000 for the tanzanite, which today somebody told me it's probably worth about $40,000.
Wow.
I went, holy fuck. You know, did I know I was doing that? No, but the universe knew what it was doing. And so all of these things that I have bought and done and had and expended and changed, it's like they become worth more money. And it's like, wow, this is cool.
Cool.
And that's a relationship most of us will not have, is a relationship with money.
Yeah, and it's a continual working
Creation.
on it, playing
Yeah.
with it more.
Playing with it. Yeah. Not working on it, but playing with it. You
Yeah.
know, what can I
So
play with that would make this worth more?
that brings me to another point that I had, is that you talked a lot about when you moved out and you created your space, that you created your life as a celebration every day. Instead of
Yeah.
putting the china away, you used it as your everyday dishes.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing. Like, as soon as I heard that, I instituted that, and I used china every day, and
And crystal.
and crystal and sterling silver flatware. And it's such a different way to live.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's about living. It's not about having a life. Most people take their good stuff and they put it away for a special occasion. What if your life every day was a special occasion? I think life is always a special occasion. And it's like if you're going to have a relationship with them, it should be a special occasion to be with them and be grateful to be there with them and be grateful to move on and not have a point of view that you have to hold on. I have to hold on to what I got here. I won't have any more. That's crazy, crazy, I think.
Yeah, so true. Yes, and celebrating living every day, wearing jewelry. A lot of people, when the world shut down, like, didn't get out of their sweatpants, and
I
that's
know.
fine. But who says you can't wear jewelry with sweatpants?
Yeah. Who says you can't wear beautiful things even if you're all alone? You know, I got a big kick because Dane used to have all of his casual clothes, and he would only wear those all day and when he was at home. And one day he came out of his closet with you know, a stack about this high of t-shirts. I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm getting rid of these. I'm not going to dress like a poor person ever again. I'm going to dress like I'm rich every fucking day, every day, all day." I went, "Good idea." And he started dressing like he was rich and he started making more money. If you dress like what you would have if you were that, why then the universe has to give you things to make that happen.
I love it. So
Yeah,
it's not act as if, it's choose and
yeah,
live.
yeah.
And
Choose and live it, you
I-
know? I mean, I walk into our house and I go, oh my God, I love everything in here. It's so pretty. It's so different. I have, you know, lion rugs in the entranceway, a female and a male. Now, the female, I bought the male intentionally. The female, I bought a house full of stuff, and it turned out it was in a closet there that I didn't even know existed. And so I got this female lion too. And now I have a female and a male, one on each side of our interest table. And it's like, and I just crack up that all these things are there.
you have a great house. Oh my God.
I love my house. It's just so bizarre.
It's bizarre, it's beautiful, it's humorous, it's
Yes. I like the humor.
inviting.
The humor of things is really important to me. Like one of the things I did is I left a bunch of the price tags on many of the items I own. And people, you have a price tag on this. Don't you want to take it off? No. But why? I said, because that way you know what I paid for it. Now, don't you feel better that you know what I paid for it? And they go, oh, yeah, because I could actually afford this. I know. You just have to look around until you find the thing you can afford.
Mm, that's interesting. And then you can also know how much it's appreciated.
Yes, I know, always. I find it interesting because when I'm having a bad day financially, I go through my house and I add up the value. If I sold everything at half the price that I paid for it, or half of its value, one of the two, how much money do I have? And I go through and I get through one room usually, and I go, okay, well, I got over 100,000 right here. I can make, okay, fine, I'm good. Because I know I could sell all these things for half their value in a heartbeat in a few days. So it's like I could get big money if I wanted to. I could have millions if I wanted to. But I have millions. I live in millions. I live on millions. I'm rich. No, I'm kidding. But I always look at how can I use this money to make money? Because everything should be about how you use money to make money, which is what a relationship should be. How do I use this person to make my life greater? And how do they use me to make our lives greater? And it's like, if we did all relationships like that, we'd have no problems. We'd have no divorce. We'd have no, it's like you could just have a great life. And living a great life is a much better thing than having had a great life. And I actually had a lady that I went to high school with who called me at one time. Oh, I had a great life. I said, what? She said, yeah, I had a great life. I said, had? I,
We
I,
hear
I,
you
I,
following.
mine is not a past tense. Mine is a current. But
Yeah.
hers was a past life, and she got to see her granddaughter once a year by going up to visit her daughter, and that was had a life that was good. I was like, no, every day's got to be a good life for me. Today, I just bought a bunch of stuff to give to my grandchildren because what I do is I buy them things that are like fossils and stuff because that will always be worth money, and they won't play with it and throw it away. They'll play with it and put it away instead of throwing it away or destroying it because it's plastic. And it's like, I figure it's much better than buying them toys, quote unquote. And I also give them gold coins every year for Christmas, and they love them.
Not
And
the
I let,
chocolate kind.
yeah, it's like it's a different thing. And I had them come here a few, like 2 or 3 trips ago, and I said, okay, you guys want to play with my gold coins? And they said, you have gold coins? Yeah. And they went, oh my God. And you should have seen the energy that got created by them playing with all these gold coins. And I felt almost like Scrooge McDuck, not quite, but he was my hero when I was growing up. And I wanted to grow up to be like Scrooge McDuck and have a swimming pool full of gold coins.
I
Haven't
love that.
gotten there yet, but I'm still working on it.
Well, when I met you 20 years ago, you were not in this range of financial
Oh no, I
creation.
wasn't. No.
So, like, it is possible
Yeah.
in this short amount of time, even when you were 62 years old,
Yeah.
creating that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't start creating the life I'm currently living until I was 55.
Wow.
It's like, so it's never too late to start. And I was actually encouraged by Colonel Sanders because he was 82 when he started KFC. And it's like, and he became a multimillionaire and the few years that he still lived. And it's like, and I went, okay, I'll do that. That sounds good. Let's do that. What
Yeah.
else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? But that's really how I live. And that's how I would create a relationship. What else can we do? What else can we do? What else can we do? What else is possible? And I don't want to have a life that's complete. I want to have a life that's growing and expanding every day of my life. And if you live your life from growing and expanding your life every day, you can't be lonely ever.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that down somewhere.
good idea. Well, you just
Uh,
have to listen to your podcast once or twice.
yeah. This there's this quote that I had of yours in my book. if you didn't do divorce from the anger it took to create separation, but from the possibility what separation could create, what could really be created that we haven't considered?
Yeah. Because it's like when I decided to separate from my wife, it's like she wanted, a certain amount of money. So I gave her, more than she was asking for. And everybody said, well, how are you going to afford to have a place of your own? I said, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. And it's like, and I went and looked at an apartment that was too small and was, you know, within reason. I went, I don't want to live here. What else can I get? So I went and looked at another apartment. It was twice the size, and it was in a complex that I didn't care about, but it was nicer. And
Mm.
my apartment was right by the pool, so I could go in the pool and swim if I wanted to. And yeah, I had to listen to a lot of parties and stuff, but who cares? And I moved in there at almost twice the rent of what I was going to originally spend. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to afford this. This is going to be really hard. It was never hard. It was always easy. And I just made more money because when you expand your space, you expand your income. Never diminish your space as though you're saving money. Never save money, save time creating money.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
Save time creating money. Yeah, it's interesting. I've always chosen the space and it's
yeah,
usually outside that comfort zone, but I've always created enough. And so have my children. They've
yeah.
always chosen greater.
They learned that from you.
They did learn that from me.
They didn't learn that from their father because he didn't do that.
Ah, well, I learned it from you, I
Good.
think.
No, I think you naturally had it, honey.
I did. Actually, you're right. But
Yeah.
but
And some of
there's
us are
something
lucky like
about there's something about the way that you were interesting point of view about it and not in judgment that didn't make me feel wrong about what I chose.
yeah. Well, it's like the thing is, we're never wrong about what we chose. We're only wrong if we try to choose from a place that is not us. Always choose what makes you feel more expanded and more you, and you will have a great life.
I love it. Never give up on your dreams.
Yes, never. I mean,
Well,
I'm 82 and I still have dreams.
well, yeah, because you're still alive, right?
Still alive. I'm still living.
Keep
Jesus.
creating.
Get out of my way. I got things to do, places to go, and people to see. It's all good.
I really appreciate you taking the time
So
and
glad to help. And I hope it helps you sell your shit to more people. What the fuck?
yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah, good shit.
Come get it.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you
dear one.
again.
You
Thank you,
take care.
everybody, for listening.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.